Hello YouTube or whatever platform I'm uploading this to. Today I'm going to do a couple of little tech reviews on gaming keyboard and a couple of gaming mice. I don't normally do these type of reviews, but I felt like I needed to share my experience with these products specifically. Now these aren't exactly any brand new products or anything like that, but I felt that I should have at least explain what I went through with these products. I'm gonna start off with the Devastator. I don't know if you can see that. Devastator 2 gaming keyboard and mouse combo. I got this off Amazon for around 30 bucks, which is pretty much a great deal considering decent gaming mice cost a lot more. The keyboard so far has not let me down. It's been great. The backlights and everything work great. I haven't figured out how to use the media play buttons. I'm pretty sure that's more of a software issue. My issue, however, was with the mouse. Now, at first glance, I even plugged it in to show it. It looks pretty cool. You know, the way it lights up, even the wheel. It has a mechanical switch here. Hand-eye coordination is off. That whenever I upload it, I have to pretty much click it twice to get it to actually, work at 2000 dpi. Anything lower is just too slow. Has two buttons here on the side for front and back, basically, when browsing the web, which is great. Now, when it's nothing fancy, and I really liked this mouse when I first got it. However, I haven't had this thing for a full year, and I already started to have issues, to the point that I had to basically buy a brand new mouse altogether. First, on the side, I started getting this weird goo, just kind of like showing up. Damn, I can't get this around here. And I kept on cleaning it like crazy. I didn't know why until I realized that it was because the glue was coming off of this. And the same thing's kind of happening on this side now. I'm terrible at this, probably because it's kind of reversed on my end. Anyways, but however, that was a minor issue. The main problem I had with this was this button right here. This is the the main clicking button for to do everything on it. It just stopped functioning like it should. I would click on something and it would just automatically double click. I click to open a new tab, it opened two. I click on a game to check out like a stats, like its news and whatnot on my Steam, it'll launch the game when I didn't tell it to. The most frustrating part was when watching YouTube videos. I'll click on the screen and normally just clicking on it will pause it. It would put it to full screen. And at first I thought that was YouTube itself, that they changed how it works or something. I'll click on it again, and it'll just turn it back to small screen. And for the longest, I didn't realize that it was the mouse until, the mouse just kept on acting up worse and worse. Then came the issue where sometimes it wouldn't even click. I would click on something and it just wouldn't respond. Sometimes I would have to even click multiple times and even slam on the button just to get it to work. And I was really upset about this because this mouse is still technically new. And it hasn't even been a full year since I had it and already had issues with it. I don't know if I could have replaced it through warranty or whatnot. I didn't want to go through that trouble, to be honest. I just didn't want to bother with that. I'd rather have gotten a better mouse than have to go through this again, basically. One of the biggest issues is that something that I've never needed before, but I don't know if it's because of me getting old, but with this mouse in particular, after the excessive use of it, I ended up having to go to Staples to get a little wrist rest because my wrist was just freaking aching after using it. I also got one for the keyboard as well. And, for regular browsing, it's fine, but when it comes to like gaming, this does get in the way. And it's really, and it's difficult to game that mouse. And I guess it's just the way you have to hold it, maybe. Because when I got my new current one, I no longer have wrist pain. I no longer actually need to use this, at least as of yet. So I don't know if it was actually the mouse or maybe my wrist got adjusted, but I have not had any issues because my new mouse, it's a little different how you grip it. So that's my brief little review on this, and I'm like, by far, the Cooler Master Devastator 2 is not terrible. Maybe you might have a different experience with it. It was, it was good for its price in a way. The keyboard still works, thankfully. I guess some lag, but that's only when I'm chatting on Facebook, and I'm pretty sure that's more Facebook's issue than the keyboard itself, because I never had any issues anywhere else. Hopefully the keyboard will last me, because I do not want to have to replace it anytime soon. And so, luckily, my wife gave me an early Christmas present to replace this current mouse, so that hopefully this one will actually last me more than a year. This one I know had great reviews. It's not a brand, new model or anything. It's been out for a while, actually. It's just kind of like the one I'm showing. But this mouse has been a dream. The Logitech G502 Proteus Spectrum. This thing has a shitload of features, and its original price point was around $80, but because of Prime, it reduced it down to $50. I saw some other sellers selling for like $10 cheaper, but I didn't know what the seller was, and to me it looked kind of shady, to be honest. This one came straight from Amazon, and it doesn't have as many LEDs and whatnot like the other mouse and everything. It only has like one, well, two if you count the profile indicator here. That's one of the features on it. This thing can be controlled through software that you can download directly from the site. Have up to 3 different profiles on it. Has a bunch of macro buttons. Has a sniper button, which I don't really use, so I just changed it to something else. I put this to back and forward. This is just profile indicators. I put this to like create new tab, close current tab. Of course, that's just for regular browsing. One of my favorite features, however, is this little lock switch here. So it just frees it up the wheel like that, so you could go endless scrolling like crazy. Click on it and it gets a nice little clicky. So you have those options. It has a nice grip so far, and you kind of grip. It's like more dome-wise than the other one, so I'm guessing that's why I haven't had many wrist issues. Probably because this one is gripped a little differently. The DPI on this is amazing. You can customize the DPI from hold on, I didn't even memorize. I only know is that from 200 to 12,000. And that is pretty incredible. I have this thing for less than 7,000 because 2,000 just does not feel right at all. And that's just for regular browsing. For gaming, I did have to lower the DPI because the sensitivity is too high. I mean, I don't really game too much on this except for Black Desert Online and a few first-person shooters, but for the most part, I've been recently just playing Warframe, and I use my controller for that because it just feels better for me. That's just my personal opinion. And it comes with a really long braided cable, pretty nice. Now, my only... oh yes, the bottom. This is one of its cool features. It has a magnetic bottom that comes right off, and you can add weights to it that it came with. So I didn't really bother any of the weights because I like it the way it is, but you could add some weight to it. Comes a little carrier, so you could add some weight to the mouse to adjust it to your customization, so however you want to personalize. Of course, the logo is RGB, which you can control however you want. I just set mine to like a light blue breathing pulse feature to kind of match the black and blue of the rest of my setup so far. Because anyone who knows me knows that I love blue. And I can't get this thing to open. I don't know, my wife managed to get this to open somehow, but the weights come in here. When I got this box, it was a little annoying to get it out of the box at first, because let's see. Let me get this paper out of the way. Just manuals and stuff. Pretty much came in here. Cable's right through the hole on the other side. If you look closely, there's the little dome that contained the little dome-shaped thing that held the weights, basically. And it wasn't so much of an issue. It's just a little bit of pain in the ass to get out because the cable is all like wrapped up, and it comes with its own like attached Velcro strap, which came in handy for cable management. I was able to just like, I didn't actually need it, but since it was already built in, I said might as well use it, and it just took out the Velcro strap I already had there, put it somewhere else. But it was a pain to like try to unwrap it and then get it through this hole out. But that was like pretty much the only issue, if you can even call it an issue, that I've had with this mouse. So far, this thing is still brand new. Like I said, it's an early Christmas present from my wife. You know, I already got her Christmas present early because her headphones died and she needed new ones. And so far, this thing has been great. I still mess around with the settings because, like I said, you can have 3 profiles on it, and I haven't really messed around with the settings for gaming just yet, but I have not had any issues with it. My only issue is getting used to like finding the right DPI setting, because if it's too sensitive, I can't control it, and it's just like all over the place. But you know, if it's too low, I'm like, it's too slow to work with. So if you're shopping for a new mouse, you know, if you need to upgrade one, if your mouse is breaking apart, I highly recommend this. So far hasn't let me down. If it ends up doing so, I'll probably update it in the comments or in the description in the future. But, you know, it's still too early to make a final, case, but so far this thing has nothing but good reviews. It was even bestseller in PC accessories on Amazon, which is great. I wish I could say the same thing about my previous mouse. I mean, it's still usable, it's just really irritating to use, and I just, I can't deal. It's like I need it to work properly. But at least I could still use this as a backup should worst case scenario this one break and I'm waiting for a new one to ship. Anyways, basically, when shopping for peripherals, try not to sheep out too much. I mean, Cooler Master, Devastator did have some decent reviews, and I saw a lot of tech tubers being sponsored by them and constantly, and review it too as well. And I probably just got unlucky, to be honest. So I'm not saying don't get it or don't try it, but if you have the money to spare, definitely go for this one. It is definitely. It's like I used to think that keyboards and mice, they're all the same. No. After using this mouse, I realized that there is a huge difference between mice, whether it be regular, standard, gaming, or whatever you're using them for. Huge difference using this mice. You will immediately notice it by just using it like for a few seconds. You'll basically, where has this been my entire life? Anyways, thank you, and hopefully that's just my personal experience with it. Have a good day. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to hit like, subscribe, and share this video. And also, don't forget to check out the links in my description. If not, Mew will eat your children. Yeah! Wait, what?